So guys, we brought you up here on the highest drivable road in Europe to ask questions to Jero that you've kindly submitted to us through our YouTube channel. These, of course, are related to moving to France and taxes. I just remind you all that, of course, this is a very personal subject. You can't take what we're saying to you today as a generality. I mean, obviously, it's all going to be intricately linked to your situation. And I just want to make it clear that we can help people from anywhere around the world moving to France. Specifically, a lot of you guys that are viewing our channel are from the US. So we're kind of making it a little bit more US centric, but we can give you advice if you're moving from Canada, from the UK, etc. In fact, some of the questions are here from the UK. So the first question that we have for you, Jero, is if you're moving to France, are the tax or pensions consideration, or should there be tax or pension considerations that you should plan for before relocating, and what should they be?
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing you have to be aware of, Richard, is that as soon as you become a French tax resident, you have to declare all of your income, right? Including your pension.
So when you become a French tax resident?
As soon as you live in France, pretty much most of the time.
You can declare yourself? You can choose?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Because no one is going to double check on you and say, oh, but you arrived in October and I believe you became a tax resident. No one knows. So this is your call to do it and say, okay, I believe it was that day because that day France became my main home.
Yeah.
And please do not tell me about the 183 days rule. It is not a rule. It's one of the many criteria which might make you a tax resident of France or not, right? So as I said, as soon as you become a tax resident of France, then you have to declare your income, okay? So declaring does not mean paying, but depending on the country you come from and the type of pension you have, it might be taxable in France or not. For example, US Social Security pension are not taxable in France because they are fully taxable in the US.
Okay.
Another example, if you are a UK tax resident, your private pension would be taxable in France, whereas your state governmental pension would remain taxable in the UK.
Okay.
So it really depends on the country, the tax treaty, and the type of pension as well.
But you've got a little bit of time from when you get your visa to actually having to do and close your accounts. You've got 12 months, haven't you, from the day that your visa is issued.
Yeah.
So you don't need to panic about this too much before you leave, but getting the information right so that you can close the accounts.
It depends on how stressed you are about your financial situation.
Yeah.
My opinion is that if you want to have if you live on a tight budget, or if you want to be sure about what you're going to pay, then ask us before you make the move so that there is no bad surprise, especially about the social charges. But I guess it's another topic.
But people should maybe not confuse tax and advice and wealth management advice.
Yeah, but social charges is taxes, actually.
Yeah.
And this is why it's my call, my specialty.
We've got some questions on that in a second, Jero, so hold your horses.
Yeah.
Don't steal my thunder. How does the tax work? We want to move to France from England, but not sure how the tax situation works if my husband still works for a UK company. Can you advise?
Yeah, well, again, it depends whether the husband is going to keep a British contract. Is he going to be registered in France or not, right? It's possible to have a British contract and a British pay-as-you-earn and live in France, right? One of the big things is going to be about social charges, because as soon as the husband will live in France, then you have to pay 9.2% social charges on the British income. Still pay the NI in the UK and stop the PAYE in the UK to start paying French taxes.
So it's quite complex, but very doable.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless the company is registering
in France.
In this case, it will be a French payroll, and it will be exactly as any French person.
And to clarify, as long as the company does not have social economic activity in France or other employees in France, it's totally fine. And we've confirmed this with the Embassy of France in London, that it is okay to work on a remote, on a long stay visitor visa, as long as you remain paid in the UK and pay your social charges in the UK, and of course applicable social charges in France.
In France,
if required. So you could double up on them.
Exactly.
So good question. Thank you for that one, guys, that you, all of the subscribers that are watching. Next one. What are property taxes when buying a home in France? So there's first the closing fee or stamp duty, as we'd call it in the UK, closing fee in the US. In France, we call it les frais notariaux, frais de l'acte,
Frais de notaire.
Yeah, so frais de notaire. And they are what, around 8 to 9%, depending on the region.
7.5, very much. And it's a bit more if you buy something very cheap.
Okay.
Because we've got some flat taxes, right?
Yeah.
But you can think 7.5% on average, it should work.
Okay. And then you've got things like taxe d'habitation and taxe foncière. So this is like property tax or council tax in the UK. Not sure what you call that in the US.
The
but
second one would be like a second home tax, because now it's only for second home owners.
Oh, for second homeowners, only.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's a yearly charge. Now, to give you an idea, we were talking about this in Val d'Isère this morning. A small apartment in Val d'Isère will set you back maybe €5,000 a year, 5,000 a year. A property with like 12 bedrooms in the southwest of France, where I come from, would maybe only cost you €1,300 a year. So it depends on the square footage, where it's in, which area it's in, etc. Right?
Yeah, actually, the property tax and taxe d'habitation are made of different types of taxes, which are taken by the mairie, I mean the town, the département de région, okay? And depending on how wealthy these locations are, the rates will be high or not. As I said, my office in Marseille cost me €5,000 a year, whereas my own personal house cost me half of it, whereas, trust me, it's much nicer than my
So it depends where it is. You're paying for the location, really.
Absolutely,
but
you do.
Still, compared to the US or the UK for that matter, this is going to seem extremely good value for money.
Yeah, just last call on this. It's payable once a year.
Yes.
In
October.
Yeah, in October for the taxe foncière and November for the taxe d'habitation.
So when you buy your house, usually you pay the pro rata. So you don't need to. You don't need to worry about that. It'll be included in the fees. Okay.
I would say that we've got one more tax, of course, the famous wealth tax.
Ah yes, l'IFI, l'impôt sur la fortune immobilière.
Yeah, so it's only on real estate.
But that's worldwide real estate,
It's not that simple, actually.
Okay.
So if you're a French tax resident, let's say tomorrow I buy a very nice flat in your city, then I would pay the tax on it because I'm a French tax resident.
Okay.
But if you are from the US and you own a property in France, then only your French properties are taken into account for this. And there is one more thing. Yeah. If you are American coming to France, then you have a 5 years free of wealth tax.
People forget this all the time. People forget this all the time. So you got 5 years, guys, before you even need to worry about this. And there are ways, for instance, if you have a trust in the US and you're buying with a trust or equivalent to a trust in France, there could be a loan maybe to reduce the I5 because it's only on the net value.
Net value.
So we've got solutions for this if you're lucky enough to have that problem.
Yeah.
So you need to have a chat with us more than ever if that's your case. And of course, the sooner you do that, the better, because it allows us to plan for stuff before you finalise the actual purchase. We kind of covered this earlier, but it's a question that comes up all the time. If you're still earning income remotely, how does that impact your taxes? And what do people need to know about working abroad? Well, first thing I'll intervene is, are you allowed to work from are you allowed to work in France with the visa that you hold? And there's criteria that we've just mentioned before. The company must not have economic interest in France. You must be paid and on payroll in the country that you've come in from, and potentially pay social charges in both countries. From a tax point of view, it depends if there's a treaty, I'm guessing.
Depends on the treaty and the type of income, of course, because it will not be the same whether it's a salary, it's dividend, it's freelance work, it's S-corp income, etc., etc. Because some type of income are very easily treatable because it's very simple. There is a case. In other cases, for example, S-corp income,
Yep.
it's not that simple, right?
Okay.
So again, it depends on the type of income.
On your situation, the country from. Are there tax or pension considerations that you should plan on before relocating? Well, you've got some time to plan those and to change over if that's from wealth management, but the actual cost you were saying about.
Yeah, there is one thing our clients usually forget about because there is not much on the internet. It's social charges, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about prélèvements sociaux, blah, 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 because again, this is about contribution to the health system. So as soon as you are coming to France, registered to the French health system, then you might be asked to pay and contribute to the system, which makes sense when we think about it. So again, I'm not going to explain you the whole system because there is the PUMA tax, we've got the social charges, blah, blah, blah. So depending on your type of income, salary, pension, or dividend, interest, etc., you might have to pay 8.3 to 9.2%, okay? And guys, there's a way to escape these legally. If you are European or Swiss or British, then you should ask for an S1 form. This S1 form would allow you not to pay these and still benefit from the French social security. It's actually an agreement between France and your home country, which would allow you not to pay these because your country would agree to pay them back to France, which is why you would not need to contribute to the system.
And so, Jero, just a question that I have from that. So if you're American and you're earning money from a 401k, or you're earning money from your state pension, so your social income, is that going to be applicable to those charges?
You're not going to pay income tax, but you would pay social charges.
Okay.
As soon as you're registered.
As soon as you go over 11,000 something euros, though, so if you're really on low.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't mention it because
it's
all our
rare.
clients are about this.
But and I think that's a misconception of often we have people on YouTube commenting saying, French people saying, oh, we don't want foreign people coming to use our system.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, everybody that uses our services will be paying into the system.
Oh yeah, everyone pays legally here.
But for you guys watching, this is still going to be incredibly great value compared to your home country, especially if it's the US. And the healthcare system is really good. Last question, Jero, really here. Is transferring my 401k possible? I mean, that's a wealth management question.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, it is possible.
I know it's possible, but it's not my job. I'm just a chartered accountant,
Yeah.
and I cannot know everything, so that's not on me.
Yeah, but it is possible, and we have somebody in our team that can help you with that.
Absolutely.
I think that's it for the questions. Guys, thank you so much for sending these questions in. Keep them coming. We do our best to respond to you online, but we also make a list of the common questions that come through. And I'm just reminding every viewer here that we can help you if you're from Canada or from Denmark, or for the US, of course, which is an awful lot of the questions that come through, but also just the UK. So don't be shy. Pop us a comment in the box below. And if you want to book a call, you could just go in the description box and have a chat with one of us. There we go.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.